Hello and welcome to another Stay Creative video. Amineris here. We're ending the month of May with the Mermay challenge. If you don't know this particular challenge, it's an art-related challenge for the month of May, where using your creative specialties, you draw merfolk. So long as it's merfolk related, you're all set. I have noticed over the years, many will provide various prompts and ideas if you feel like doing it more daily or weekly. I just do it as time permits. I haven't actually been able to do Mermay for a couple of years now, so wanted to pick it back up this year. And this year, I have also received this lovely adorable aquarium a few months back. It largely features shrimp. I had a few rough starts with this little aquarium, but it's doing much better now and is much more seasoned. So everybody's healthy and good as far as I can tell. In a form of honoring, I suppose, this stage in my shrimp tank life, I took the characters from my webcomic Parallel Rift and turned them into not just any sort of merfolk, but into some shrimp folk. So here we have Fireker, one of the main characters for my webcomic Parallel Rift. You can see the rough idea sketches for the others, but they'll come later. I did have to make an adjustment here in the sketch phase, as I wasn't entirely happy with the torso to shrimp body ratio or proportions. Fast forward a wee bit and voila, we have the lines all done. Next, I went into laying down a base layer. I chose red because it's easier for me to see against the light gray canvas background that I chose instead of doing a white background. Excuse me. In order to ensure I don't have like any colors leaking through or past the lines, that's why I use the red, just because it's easier for me to see if it does go out of bounds per se, and it helps for me to essentially make sure that the color layer I do create is as smooth as possible in my art program. So I trace out the character first, almost like I'm making a silhouette, and then I fill it in, recolor it with gray so it's not an eyesore, and then I'm actually ready to apply actual color. In some other cases, I will actually apply the shading and lighting first, but I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to do for this, if I was going to leave it almost like a flat color, or if I was actually going to apply shading or lighting. In the end, I did end up applying shading and lighting, just very minute, but in normal circumstances, that is what I do first on this particular gray layer, and the actual coloring of the character comes last. But anyways, I did take a minute to look up some various shrimps. Specifically, I think they're called Neocaridina or Really Shrimp, because they come in all kinds of like colors and patterns, and I ended up settling for this bright golden and red shrimp, though not entirely matching Fireker per se. I did personally feel it was a great choice to complement his red hair and his usually bright personality. So yeah, I like it. I did honestly take a few tries to figure out exactly how I wanted to merge like the humanoid aspects with a shrimp. It seems a lot different than working with a fish body, since there's so many like mermaid artworks and such out there, you can get a better vision of how people merge the two together, but there's not exactly a lot out there to reference off of for merging a human and a shrimp together. So it was a bit of a work in progress figuring out, but I think overall, at least I feel it worked out pretty good. I did take some of like the shrimp shell pieces type thing that they have to cover up their entire bodies, so they're like exoskeleton type thing that they molt. And I put it on Fireker's shoulders and up his back in patches, just to kind of help feel like this shrimp body does belong with this torso. And instead of giving him ears, like human ears, I favored the shrimp's long whiskers. So yeah, that was pretty fun. I mean, I honestly do like shrimp. When I was a kid, I used to live where we had a spring-fed pond, and every summer I would try to catch the crawfish that would be in the shallows of our pond. So that's kind of like a big shrimp, yeah? I mean, the only main difference is that crawfish are a lot more duller in color and have pincers, have claws. And, well, I went from crawfish in a pond, and several years later, no pond, but I have this adorable aquarium now with an entire school or group or whatever you call a horde of shrimp. So lots and lots of shrimp. Most of these are blue, and from looking it up, they're like a mixture of blue dream, blue velvet, there's a few carbons, and I did notice a couple, they're like called, there are some chocolates, but I think there was another called like an Azure Tiger or something. And I did also recently receive a couple orange ones from a more recent hatching. But I didn't look up the potential names of the orange ones because they are still on the small side, so I'm not sure how much their coloring may change as they grow up. So I'm gonna wait a bit on those just to see later what they potentially could be. So yeah, inspired by my new precious kids, I thought it would be great to use that for the Mermay challenge for Parallel Rift this year. That's my webcomic, by the way. If I haven't mentioned, you can read Parallel Rift for free at parallelrift.com, or I'll leave a link to it in the description below. So short video today, and I'll check back real soon. Be sure to look out for these cute, adorable shrimp merfolk as stickers coming out in June. To make sure you don't miss them and the other content that will be accompanying it, you can go check out my socials in the links in the description of this video, and like, subscribe if you feel like it. Totally up to you. Overall, I'm happy with how Fireker turned out, and I look forward to doing the rest of these before May ends. And yeah, so till next time, thank you for watching, and stay creative.